Okay, let's get into this. We're going to unpack a compound today that, well, it sounds almost old-fashioned, like something from a Victorian lab. But it's actually shaping up to be, well, maybe the next big thing in advanced skincare. We're talking about methylene blue, MB,
Right.
a synthetic dye, over a century old, used in medicine.
Yeah.
And now suddenly, it's a major player for skin health.
It's fascinating, isn't it? How it bridges serious medicine and high-tech cosmetics. Methylene blue, fundamentally, it's a synthetic phenolphthalein compound.
Okay.
But the real magic, the thing you need to grasp, is its function as a redox active agent.
Redox active agent. Okay, that sounds technical. For listeners who are following along but maybe skipped advanced chemistry,
Right.
what does that actually mean for their skin? What's the mission here?
Think of it like this. It's like a super efficient, rechargeable battery system for your skin cells.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Yeah, traditional antioxidants, they're more like disposable batteries. They do their job once, neutralize a free radical, and then they're done, used up. A redox agent, especially MBB, it cycles. It can shuttle electrons back and forth within the mitochondria, the cell's power plants.
Huh.
This helps them run cleaner, more efficiently, and crucially, it limits the production of those damaging free radicals, the reactive oxygen species, or ROS.
So it's not just stopping damage, it's actively helping the cell work better.
Exactly. Our mission today is really to understand how that sustained cellular energy translates to healthier skin, why it might outperform some other well-known ingredients, and, this is critical, the very strict safety rules around its use.
That context is huge.
Yeah.
So before landing in these fancy skincare vials, methylene blue already had quite the resume, right? Pharmacological agent, dye, antiseptic.
Oh, absolutely. A really significant history in medicine.
Give us the quick version, just to set the stage for how important this stuff has been elsewhere.
Sure. Well, systemically, it's a lifesaver in treating methemoglobinemia.
Okay, what's that?
It's a condition where your hemoglobin can't carry oxygen properly. MB acts as a reducing agent, basically flipping the dysfunctional methemoglobin back to functional hemoglobin. Really critical.
Wow.
And surgeons use it all the time. Its blue dye property helps them stain tissues, making it easier to see damaged areas or even, say, find cancerous spots during surgery.
Huh.
Plus, for decades, it was a go-to antiseptic because it has pretty solid antimicrobial activity against various bacteria and fungi.
So wait, a compound that saves lives in ERs and ORs is now tackling wrinkles. That's quite a pivot.
It does sound like it, doesn't it?
But how does that medical power actually work when you put it on your skin?
Yeah.
This must be the aha moment.
The translation, it really boils down to energy metabolism at the cellular level when you apply it topically and, crucially, at very, very low concentrations.
How low are we talking?
Like between 0.01% and 0.1%, extremely low.
Okay.
At those levels, it gets into the skin cells and goes straight to the mitochondria. It helps optimize mitochondrial respiration.
Helping them breathe better, essentially.
In a manner of speaking, yes. Helping them generate energy more efficiently. And this energy boost seems to delay cellular senescence.
Senescence. That's when cells kind of get old and stop dividing properly, right? They just hang around causing problems.
Exactly. So by keeping the mitochondria humming along, MB helps cells stay resilient, stay functional longer, and improves the skin's ability to repair itself from the inside out. Hashtag tag methylene blues, extensive dermatological benefits.
Okay, so if it's genuinely recharging those cellular batteries, what are the visible results? What are people actually seeing? There's research backing this up, right? Studies from University of Maryland.
Yes, and George Washington University, published in Scientific Reports, the data points to a pretty broad range of benefits. We can maybe group them.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
How about deep cellular repair first?
Good idea. So in that cellular energy and repair bucket, MB is showing real promise against photoaging that's sun damage.
The big one.
Right. It also seems to significantly accelerate wound healing by improving oxygen delivery to the site and boosting the activity of fibroblasts. Fibroblasts are the key cells that build the structural matrix, like collagen. So faster, more organized tissue regeneration.
Okay, so it's working deep down on energy and repair.
Yeah.
What about the surface? You mentioned things like acne, scars. Let's call that the surface and structure bucket.
Perfect. So on the surface, we see that antimicrobial action playing a role, helping keep bacteria and fungi in check, which can contribute to clearer skin.
Makes sense.
Structurally, it appears to help manage scar tissue formation. It seems to reduce the kind of irregular, disorganized collagen deposition that makes scars prominent, so potentially smoother healing.
Interesting. And pigmentation, that's another huge concern.
Yes, it seems to help there too, likely by stabilizing melanin activity and protecting the cell's DNA from the kind of oxidative stress that triggers those dark spots or uneven tone.
And you also mentioned strengthening the skin's barrier. That protective layer is so important.
Absolutely crucial. A stronger barrier means better hydration, less irritation, more resilience against, environmental insults. It's fundamental for overall skin health.
And one more thing from the research.
Hmm.
It can boost other treatments.
That's right. The sources suggest it can actually enhance the outcomes of clinical procedures, things like microneedling or even some light-based therapies,
How so?
probably because it primes the skin for such a robust healing response afterwards, creates a better environment for recovery and regeneration. Hashtag TagPagMB as a superior antioxidant.
Okay, this list of benefits is, well, it's impressive. Repair, aging, structure, protection. But hang on, we already have antioxidants, right? Good ones. What makes MB potentially different or, dare I say, superior?
Now we get to the really interesting comparison. Why all the buzz around MB when we have vitamin C, retinol, all these established players?
Exactly.
The key difference seems to come down to one crucial factor: stability.
Stability, right. That's everything for a topical product, isn't it? If it breaks down in the bottle or on your skin.
It's useless, or worse, potentially irritating. And this is the Achilles heel for many classic antioxidants.
Like vitamin C, you hear about that all the time.
Precisely. Vitamin C, even some forms of retinol, they're notoriously unstable. They degrade rapidly when exposed to light, air, sometimes even just warmth.
So they might not even be active by the time they get where they need to go.
That's the concern. Methylene blue, on the other hand, is chemically quite robust. It remains stable and active for much longer within biological systems, within the skin.
So it's like that rechargeable battery analogy again. It keeps working.
Exactly. It penetrates effectively and can sustain that vital support for mitochondrial energy production over a longer period. It's not just a quick fix.
And that sustained action must be why it's getting attention for anti-aging. Can you break down those mechanisms a bit more? How does it help with firmness, elasticity?
Well, it seems to work on multiple fronts against aging. First, that sustained mitochondrial health directly encourages fibroblasts to produce more collagen and elastin.
The stuff that keeps skin firm and bouncy.
Right. Second, MB appears to activate some of the body's own critical antioxidant enzymes. Specifically, things like catalase and superoxide dismutase, SOD.
So it helps the skin defend itself better.
Exactly, boosting the natural defenses. And third, by keeping cells healthier for longer, it seems to reduce the accumulation of those senescent cells.
Those zombie cells that accelerate aging.
Fewer of those hanging around causing inflammation and degradation.
Okay, and what about sun damage, specifically photoaging? Does MB actually help treat existing damage, not just prevent future issues?
The research suggests yes. It appears quite effective at neutralizing the oxidative stress from UV exposure, even after the fact. It helps prevent DNA damage and reduces that ROS buildup.
So it's not just a preventative measure.
Apparently not. In fact, its protective potential is so intriguing that, as you mentioned, some researchers are actually exploring the idea of a methylene blue sunscreen.
Really?
Yeah, because of its ability to shield cells from that UV-induced oxidative damage. It's an interesting avenue. Hashtag tag application safety and essential risks.
This all sounds almost too good to be true, which usually means there's a but. And I suspect the but here involves safety and access. This isn't something you just grab off the shelf at the drugstore, is it?
Absolutely not. And this is probably the most critical part of our discussion. Because MB is a potent pharmacological agent, it's highly regulated. Access is and should be limited.
Requires professional guidance.
Definitely. You need to be working with a licensed medical provider. And the reason is that dosage is everything. The therapeutic window is incredibly narrow.
Okay, what is that window? You mentioned it earlier.
It's strictly between 0.01% and 0.1% for topical use. That very specific range is where studies show the antioxidant benefits and collagen support without causing harm.
0.01 to 0.1%. That's tiny.
Extremely low concentration.
And we really need to hammer this home. What happens if someone thinks more is better and uses a higher concentration? Or get something improperly formulated.
Disaster. Anything above 0.1% flips the switch, it becomes toxic to the cells.
Oh.
It causes oxidative imbalance, inflammation, it actually impairs regeneration. It can damage the mitochondria in skin cells like keratinocytes instead of helping them. So improper use doesn't just not work, it actively harms the skin.
Right. So consult a professional, ensure the formulation is correct and within that precise concentration range. Got it.
Assuming someone does have the right product, under guidance, what's the safe way to use it?
The typical protocol is quite specific. Usually application is limited to once daily, unless directed otherwise.
Okay.
And because it's a dye, you need to apply a very thin layer and let it absorb fully. Give it a good 15, maybe 30 minutes before putting anything else on top.
To avoid looking blue?
Partly, yes, but also just to let it penetrate properly. And storage is vital.
Bits of stability.
More about light sensitivity here. You absolutely must store the product away from light. Light can degrade it or alter its properties. Keep it in the dark.
Good tip. Okay, talking about the dye aspect.
Yeah.
Even when used correctly, what are the potential, maybe annoying side effects? The most obvious one is temporary skin discoloration. A blue or purplish tint, especially if you apply a bit too much or if it pools somewhere.
So wash off?
Generally, yes, but it can be noticeable for a bit. The other key risk is photosensitivity.
Sensitivity to light.
Yes. While MB can be activated by specific light wavelengths for certain therapies like photodynamic therapy,
Right.
just general, everyday sunlight exposure after applying it topically can potentially lead to phototoxic reactions. Think irritation, redness, increased sensitivity. So sun protection is extra important.
Okay, good to know. Now, before we wrap up this section, there's some misinformation floating around we need to address, isn't there? Something about weight loss.
Yes. Let's be absolutely clear. Methylene blue does not cause weight loss, period.
So any claims about it boosting metabolism for fat burning are just wrong.
Completely unsupported by any credible scientific data. Trying to use MB for weight management is not only pointless, it's dangerous due to the potential toxicity risks we've discussed. Its effects are targeted at cellular health and redox balance, primarily in the skin when used topically, not systemic metabolism. Hashtag tag tag outro.
Wow. Okay, this has been a really thorough deep dive. Methylene blue. It really presents this incredible duality, doesn't it?
It really does.
On one hand, this incredibly potent cellular optimizer, doing amazing things for mitochondria, for redox balance, offering real benefits for aging skin, damaged skin.
The potential is certainly compelling.
But on the other hand, it demands absolute respect. Strict adherence to dosage, careful application, professional guidance. It's not casual.
Not at all. The key takeaway for you listening, I think, is understanding that unique combination of potency and stability. That sustained action compared to something like vitamin C or even retinol is what makes it so interesting.
That stability factor really does seem like its superpower. It doesn't just give up easily.
Right. It allows for that sustained energy production and antioxidant protection right where the cell needs it, deep down.
Which brings us to a final thought, something for you to chew on. We heard that MB can be deliberately activated by light for therapeutic effects, like generating controlled ROS.
Right, in photodynamic therapy settings.
But its general use carries that photosensitivity risk. So here's the tension. Given that higher concentrations are toxic, but these low doses are beneficial, how might researchers find a way to harness MB's specific light-activated properties, maybe for targeted treatments, while also formulating it to be safe from general everyday light exposure?
That's the challenge, isn't it? Solving that puzzle, leveraging its power while ensuring broad safety could be the key to unlocking its potential for wider, safer use in the future.
Definitely something to think about.